the musician actually has a very important role. This AI is only a tool. It's not something that's going to replace the musician. It's something that can enable the musician to do things that weren't possible before. I bet 50 years ago, people were not editing music by a computer, right? They had to do it some other ways. And now they can use computers and studios and do many different things and manipulate the music. AI is just another tool that will enable artists to create and generate music and improve their art in other ways. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking that it's going to replace art and everybody's going to listen to completely AI generated music. I think that artists are going to use AI and generate their own music, and the artist will be the one using it. It's going to be enhancing and generating things, and maybe something that we can't even imagine. I bet there are going to be new musicians that in new music genres that are just being enhanced by AI.
New
Very
music
interesting.
genres enhanced by AI. David, what are your thoughts around that in terms of like what Soji is or becoming? Also curious, Noy, what you think about that. How Soji might even be a leader in that.
Um, well, I'm approaching it, of course, from a perspective of somebody who knows a little bit about music and production. And so at the moment, I'm kind of just thinking about the ingredients you need to make, let's say, a good album. And you know, you need the musicians, you need the ideas, you need there's musical theory to explain them. But basically, you through practice, you kind of absorb it, and the best music usually is not written conceptually. It's more like something where you play with some ideas, and it's a creative process, and then it gets something nice out of it, and then you know some rules that are likely to produce a good result, but then you still add some other notes that don't really quite fit the rules, and you test with it, and then something cool comes out. um, and then there's the production side, where there's actually an audio engineer and a producer, and they work together, and they make it sound great. The audio engineer suggests a lot of different things. I'm pretty sure that a lot of those suggestions could be generated by an AI, because many of them are somewhat algorithmic, like they're step-by-step things you can do. And many probably can't. Like, for instance, there is Timbaland, the producer. He did, for instance, the Aliyah song in the back in the day with this baby. There's this baby sound, you know. Um, I find it very hard to imagine an AI that comes up with a baby sound. Not impossible, but yeah, and that was like special about the song. So I think to conclude, so I see us working on those already known ingredients already, and bringing, wherever it's possible, bringing technology there to make the lives easier, faster, enable people to have a one button basically demo tape, and so they don't need to spend thousands of dollars on studio time and technicians, and to get to like 80% of the studio quality with AI helping out. But that said, in the broader picture, I don't really know, because similarly, we don't know what the technology will enable. We know what we have now, and we can find bridges to use the technology to bring that into the future. But maybe the technology will radically change things, and maybe this step-by-step process doesn't make sense from a future perspective. So that's what I can say. But I'm excited about the journey, and can't wait to see it happen.
Noy, what are your thoughts on that?
I really liked what David said. I think there are two parts to how AI can help a musician create music. One of them is actually what I talked about before. It's about the generation. So maybe he needs some kind of sound or something to fit in, and he can try an AI suggest me something. Maybe the AI can suggest a few things, and the musician actually chooses what fits best. Maybe the musician, like you said, can create something that the AI can't think about, but the other way around is also possible. The AI will just think of something that the musician didn't think about. So this is one part, but I think the other part can be also very interesting and enabling. I think that right now, making a professional sounding song is not very cheap. you have to go to a studio and, just like you said, a sound or audio engineer, and people have to put in work that's expensive and use expensive equipment.